Disclaimer warning, this video is intended for an adult audience only due to some of the content in it, and stick around towards the end for a special surprise as well. Hello everybody, it's your non-binary pal Grace to be here, and in this video we're going to be talking about some villains. I don't usually talk about my villains, but I have big plans for these two, so I thought it would be fun to share them. First, some context. Gateways is my main comic universe, and there are two eras. The comic currently is in the past era, and stories like Mysteries of Hysteria and my other planned things are in the present era. These two are the main villains of the present era, and actually talking about them now is a good idea because, like I've said, I'm revising, not starting over, just want to make that clear, just revising Mysteries of Hysteria, specifically the first few chapters, and part of that is going to be starting to introduce them through that. But first, I'll introduce them here. Null and Xander, the most evil gay power couple I've ever written. These two are the head of an organization called the Deadly Seven, and they believe that the universe has gone on too long and the only way to end all the pain and suffering is to end it and have everything return to the void. And they are planning on achieving this by gaining enough power to be able to spread the void out. Null is the main one behind everything. He's extremely smart and finds the void extremely fascinating. He actually has the ability to open portals to and out of the void. This is because of his heritage. He's the direct descendant of one of the gods, specifically the god of the Gateways, believed to be one of the first gods. You'll learn more about the gods as the Gateways comics goes on, but if you've read the first chapter, you've actually already seen them. Anyway, Null's ability is what led to his and Xander's discovery of the void and how they accidentally ended up there. The void is full of dangerous entities, but so they wouldn't be killed, Null made a deal with them that they would help the entities kill people in the real world if they were kept alive. This isn't all Null does though, since he's also a very scientific person and wanted to see how void substance would affect people. He's done all sorts of experiments on people, creating monsters and killing others. Two of these happen to be Blink and Thorn, by the way. While he's doing all of this, Xander is the one who handles politics and public relations, getting more and more powerful people on their side while not being honest about what they really want. Xander is very manipulative and knows how to be charming and seductive. He also loves violence and fighting and often handles any of their targets himself. Their love for each other is very genuine, so they also go to great lengths to protect each other. Their designs have taken quite a few years to develop, but here they are now. As you can see, they are meant to parallel each other, with Null having a dark color scheme with long and flowy hair, while Xander has a lighter color scheme with spiky hair that's partially red. Xander is an Astroborn, which is why his hair is almost white aside from the red, and Null is a god descendant, so he doesn't really look like any species. His skin is gray, which might have been a result of the void, and his eyes are mostly gray except for a small amount of yellow coming from his heritage. Both of their outfits are white and red with some black, since I imagine those are the official colors of the Deadly Seven. Ironic since they work for the Void. I chose those colors since black is always used for the evil organization, so I thought it'd be fun to flip that, and white and red has always been a bit more menacing to me than black and red. I gave Null a very fantastical suit design with a big coat as a cape, and yes, designing that was a bit hard for me, for someone who's addicted to drawing feminine men, but I was able to go right back to my comfort zone with Xander, who's got a very revealing outfit. It definitely helps with his political dealings, but probably doesn't with fighting, as you can see with the scars. But maybe he likes that, I don't know. And one last thing for Null's design is that he has a kind of secondary design when he uses his powers. His eyes go completely black, and he has like this weird crown thing that forms above his head. This only happens again when he is summoning a creature from the void into the real world. Now that I've talked about them, let's talk about the artwork that I made here. This one was pretty hard for me to work on. Posing took quite a bit, as you can probably tell. They're both interacting with each other quite a bit, and drawing that is always difficult for me to sketch out, and then it's two of them, and yeah, it took a bit, and that's also why the background is pretty simple, because I didn't want to deal with that as well, but it's all fine. Somewhere in the middle of working on the line art, I actually took a break and forgot about this for a hot second, until I came back to work on it some more. And while doing that, I fixed the line art, which took way longer than I thought it would, but I did it. And I ended up still fixing up the line art while coloring. I'm glad I was able to do that, and I think taking the break was why I ended up having to do a lot of fixing, because I noticed some things in the line art I wasn't happy with. But yeah, it did take quite a while longer than I thought it would. I played around with some new brushes for the background. I don't quite remember what they were, but they're there. And rendering didn't actually take too long. I used reds, of course, for the majority of the shading, and I did ignore those for the eyes. That way they would pop more, and that definitely worked really well, I think. Xander has blue eyes, actually, and the way I rendered Null's eyes here make them look way more yellow than gray, which is a bit of a downside, but also a bit of a plus because that also helps them to pop out more. So when you're looking at the whole thing, it's like very like dark red for the most part, except for their eyes. So that helps you to look right at their faces, which is the main focal point. And I adjusted things to have a bigger contrast towards the end because I think I ended up having some things being too dark and not being very readable. So yeah, took quite a while, but I'm still very pleased with it, and I had a good time with it. Now, Null and Xander are not the only villains. The group isn't called the Deadly Seven for no reason. It's because of the 7 main void terrors that they're working with, which I have also designed. And I thought it would be fun to go over them in a sort of in-universe data log entry thing, so let's go over them. Entry number 7, the Snare. The snare's base form is that of a blob creature until it can take the form of a structure. These can range from natural things such as caves or mountains to urban such as houses and buildings. Once it assumes its form, it will lie in wait for targets to enter. Soon after, the victim will be completely absorbed into the snare. Once it's taken enough people from an area, the snare will move on. Entry number 6, the Atoms. The atoms appear in hidden groups in open areas. From a distance, it appears as one humanoid, but it will multiply until the target is completely surrounded. It kills by completely overwhelming targets and using whatever method it has around it. Although it's far from the most deadly, it can easily kill unprepared victims. Entry number 5, Memories. The Memories are abstract creatures always dwelling in abandoned buildings. They'll take any scrap they come across, whether it's wood or metal, and attach it onto themselves. They will only attack when people enter these buildings, which happens often. When this happens, they will use whatever object they have attached to themselves to kill. The memories will also affect the place it inhabits, causing time to slow down. They have been the cause for many missing person cases. Entry number 4, the Lure. The lure appears in dark and entrapped places. When viewed from a distance, it appears like a huge eye. Its main way of attacking is to create a desired illusion in the center of the eye. These illusions are extremely convincing from up close, which is how it traps its victims. Once lured in, the lure will grow sharp tendrils, which it will use to impale the victims. Entry number 3, the experiments. The result of injecting void matter into subjects. Most of these resulted in the subjects being completely engulfed in the matter, becoming one with the void. These new creatures are very rampant, only wanting to cause as much destruction as it can. They can range in size and appearance, but are often extremely large. These are often sold to politicians to use against their enemies. Entry number 2, the husks. The husks are the result of an attack. The victim's body is slowly transformed as it becomes possessed with the void. It will lose all color and the blood from the eyes will start to resemble black tar. Husks barely seem alive, but will make groaning noises as if it's mimicking breathing, and respond to noises and lights. They will lie dormant until someone gets close enough, in which case it will let out a wail to summon any nearby terrors to its location. Entry number 1. This data entry is not available. Thank you so much for watching this video about my creepy guys and my villains. If you want to see more like this, you can check out the link in the description for my link tree with all my things, Instagram, Webtoon for all my comics, and if you're curious about gateways, the past era of gateways is currently being played out in my comic gateways, which is on Webtoon and Happus, and my website. I have been working on chapter 2. Right now it's on a bit of a pause because I'm still working on chapter 2 as of the moment, but I will give an announcement for when that's ready to be posted. Thank you so much for Gibbous Rat, as always, for supporting me on Patreon, and you can support me too if you want to see some exclusive stuff, which includes some stuff from this video, and some early contents like this video and others. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!